So good morning, class. So we just finished our guided practice, which was watching our Pixar video, and from that we were able to make some inferences. So before we start our independent practice, where I read you this book, I'm going to show you this little reminder about inferences. And it's where we draw conclusions from the text about what you already know and what you see from the text. So for example, if you see the kids are in short sleeve shirts and they're sweating, you can think that it's probably summertime outside. So I'm going to read you this book, and then afterwards we're going to fill out this worksheet as your independent practice for today. So this book that we're going to read today is called Blueberries for Sal, and it was one of my favorite books when I was a child, so today I'm going to read it to you. It's a little bit of an older book, but it's a lot of fun. So, Blueberries for Sal. One day, little Sal went with her mother to Blueberry Hill to pick blueberries. Little Sal brought along her small tin pail, and her brother brought her large tin pail to put berries in. "We will take our berries home and can them," said her mother. "Then we will have food for the winter." Little Sal picked 3 berries and dropped them in her little tin pail. Kaplink, kaplank, kaplunk. She picked 3 more berries and ate them, and then she picked more berries and dropped them in her pail. Kaplunk, and the rest she ate. Then little Sal ate all 4 blueberries out of her pail. Her mother walked slowly through the bushes, picking blueberries as she went and putting them in her pail. Little Sal struggled along behind, picking blueberries and eating every single one. Little Sal hurried ahead and dropped a berry in her mother's pail. It didn't sound kaplink, because the bottom of the pail was already covered with berries. She reached down inside to get her berry back. Though she really didn't mean to, she pulled out a large handful because there were so many blueberries right up close to the one she had put in. Her mother stopped picking and said, "Now Sal, you run along and pick your own berries. Mother wants to take her berries home and can them for next winter." So we're going to stop here, and because this is our independent practice, we're just going to quietly think about this question, but can you maybe think of some inferences that may be happening, or can you maybe draw some conclusions about what's going on in this story so far? So let's think about this quietly since it's our independent practice. And hopefully you have one in mind, so we're going to see if your inferences are maybe right or not. So her mother went back to her picking, but little Sal, because her feet were tired of standing and walking, sat down in the middle of a large clump of bushes and ate blueberries. On the other side of Blueberry Hill, Little Bear came with his mother to eat blueberries. "Little Bear," she said, "eat lots of berries and grow big and fat. We must store up food for the long, cold winter." Little Bear followed behind his mother as she walked slowly through the bushes eating berries. Little Bear stopped now and then to eat berries. Then he had to hustle along to catch up. Because his feet were tired of hustling, he picked out a large clump of bushes and sat down right in the middle and ate blueberries. Over on the other side of the hill, little Sal ate all the berries she could reach from where she was sitting, and then she started out to find her mother. She heard a noise from around a rock and thought, "That is my mother walking along." But it was a mother crow and her children, and they stopped eating berries and flew away, saying, "Caw, caw, caw." Then she heard another noise in the bushes and thought, "That is surely my mother, and I will go that way." But it was Little Bear's mother instead. She was tramping along, eating berries, and thinking about storing up food for the winter. Little Sal tramped right along behind. If you were a child, do you think that you'd follow a bear along? Would that be a fun idea to do? Apparently Little Sal thinks it's fun. By this time, Little Bear had eaten all the berries he could reach without moving from the clump of bushes. Then he hustled off to catch up with his mother. He hunted and hunted, but his mother was nowhere to be found. He heard a noise from over a stump and thought, "That is my mother walking along." "That is surely my mother. I will hustle over that way." But it was Little Sal's mother instead. She was walking along, picking berries, and thinking about canning them for next winter. Little Bear hustled right along. Little Bear and Little Sal's mother, and Little Sal and Little Bear's mother were all mixed up with each other among the berries on Blueberry Hill. Little Bear's mother heard Sal walking along behind and thought it was Little Bear and said, "Little Bear, munch, 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 eat all you gulp can hold, swallow." Little Sal said nothing. She picked 3 berries and dropped them, kaplink, kaplank, kaplunk, in her pail. Little Bear's mother turned around to see what on earth was making a noise like kaplunk. "Grumph," she cried, choking on a mouthful of berries. "This is not my child. Where is Little Bear?" She took one good look and backed away. She was old enough to be shy of people, even a very small person like Little Sal. Then she turned around and walked off very fast, Little Bear tramping along behind, and thought it was Little Sal. She kept right on picking and thinking about canning blueberries for next winter. Little Bear padded up and peeked into her pail. Of course, he only wanted to taste a few of what was inside, but there were so many and they were so close together that he tasted a tremendous mouthful by mistake. "Now, Sal," said Little Sal's mother without turning around, "you run along and pick your own berries. Mother wants to can these for next winter." Little Bear tasted another tremendous mouthful and almost spilled the entire pail of blueberries. Little Sal's mother turned around and gasped, "My goodness, you are not Little Sal. Where is my child?" Little Bear just sat munching and swallowing and licking his lips. Little Sal's mother backed away slowly. She was old enough to be shy of bears, even very small bears like Little Bear. Then she turned and walked away quickly to look for Little Sal. She hadn't gone very far before she heard a kaplink, kaplank, kaplunk. She knew just what made that kind of noise. Little Bear's mother had not hunted very long before she heard a hustling sound that stopped now and then to munch and swallow. She knew just what made that kind of noise. Little Bear and his mother went home down one side of Blueberry Hill, eating blueberries all the way, and full of food stored up for the winter. And Little Sal and her mother went down the other side of Blueberry Hill, picking berries all the way, and drove home with food to can for next winter. A whole pail of blueberries and 3 more besides that. The end. So now we're going to go back to our seats, and from this book, you're going to go to your seat where there's a worksheet, and you're going to write a couple inferences or conclusions that you could find from this story. Thank you.